Like, if this doesn't work and these don't give me what I want to see, then that means I did all this for nothing. The only thing I needed to really do this is just a screwdriver to help with prying off the connector and a big ass long 22 millimeter wrench. Something has changed, but these two should be giving me something. Okay, so after some deeper research, I learned that well, I've spent pretty much the entire year either working overtime, and then what little free time I have left has been doing stuff to this van. So I have not gone anywhere. I've not done anything. I don't even think I've been 20 miles outside of this town, just because I haven't had the time. And what little bit of free time I've ever had, I've been doing something or another to this van. So that's been going on for at least, I don't know, 9 months or so. And so now I have a couple of weeks free, so I want to get out of town. So I was going to take a long drive, maybe go to Vegas, maybe go to San Diego, sit on the beach for a while, clear my head, relax, get far away from here, and just kind of do van life stuff. But I was going to leave today, took care of a couple of things, and I noticed that for like the second time, maybe the second or third time now over a few days, the van was running a little bit strange. It was like some sort of I don't know how to describe it, like on a mild acceleration there would be a hesitation. It would hesitate, and then it would kind of surge a little bit, and your foot's not moving. Your foot is giving just a constant pressure on the pedal, but you'll feel this surge and then hesitate, and then a surge, and then it falls back again. And so I was like, you know what? It was so subtle the first couple of times that I was like, maybe I'm just imagining this. But this time for sure, I was like, no, there's something there I'm feeling that's not right. It's not normal. So with some research, I think I've narrowed it down to my 2 upstream O2 sensors just north of the catalytic converter. There's one on the passenger, one on the right side. I think those 2 are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. I have an OBD2 scanner, and I looked at these, and there's just no data coming in. Now the downstream ones are giving a reading, but the upstream ones are not giving any reading. So apparently, I mean, that means that they're not doing anything, and apparently if they're not doing anything, that would give me those types of symptoms. So now, instead of hitting the road, I'm going to be replacing the O2 sensors. So fortunately, I don't think it's a big job. I think it's just a matter of, like, you know, you unplug the wire, you unscrew the sensor, you take it out, and you replace it. The only issue is that those things have a tendency of getting stuck. Just like everything else on this van that I've tried to do, it's been stuck and been a major pain in the ass, and these could be the same way. So I do have a propane torch. I've got some penetrating oil, and hopefully that will get those things out of there without too much of an issue. They're not too hard to get to. I do have to take the doghouse off, so this shouldn't set me back too far, but I wasn't planning on doing it. That's $250 I wasn't planning on spending. But you know, at this point, I feel grateful that it's not potentially not something more serious, that I was able to kind of quickly track down the most likely issue. I'm happy that I have a place to do it. Like if I didn't have this storage garage here, normally I would be doing something like this in the middle of a parking lot. It's cold out today, the wind is gusting. I would not want to be doing anything outside right now. I don't even want to be outside walking around, let alone would I want to be out there doing something to the van. That's just miserable. So minor setback, but I guess now we change an O2 sensor and we see how that goes. So I guess I better get started. All right, so I've got 4 clips. This thing will come out, maybe take it out the passenger side so I don't have to wrestle it over the steering wheel, and then I should have pretty quick access to those sensors. I got the proper tool to take it out. It's a special socket with a gap in it to let the wire through. So we'll try to get it out the easy way first, and if it doesn't want to cooperate, then we'll get out the blowtorch. It's not as clean as I thought it'd be, although I do have an oil leak, so that's probably where a lot of that's coming from. But there's the sensors right there. It's so tempting to want to try this spark plug change on my own, but I think I would be regretting that later if I did try to do that myself. So anyways, that's not on the agenda for now. I thought maybe that might be the problem. I thought maybe I was gonna have to do the spark plugs, but I think that this potentially could work. So we have one here, I guess. It's going in here. There's the connector, and then the other one right here, going in down right there. So I don't know, this is doable. All right, let's see if I can get these off. The guilty party right here. I mean, I don't know what it's supposed to look like. I guess I can compare it to the new one. And this, I didn't even need to use this thing that I rented from the auto parts store, nor did I need to use this thing. This 22 millimeter, or I think 7/8 is also the equivalent, broke the seal because it gave me that extra leverage. I I don't know. I might be able to use it on this one. I don't know if I'll have enough of an angle. We'll find out though in a minute. Okay, so I got the Bosch. I didn't want to spend $150 for Motorcraft, so these are $50 cheaper. Still pretty expensive at $100 each, but yeah, so this thing is just, I don't know. Hopefully this will fix the problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully put some anti-seize. There's a little bit on the threads here. I'm going to try and get a little bit more on the other side, and then I'm going to put a little bit of I got some dielectric grease here, and so I'm going to put a little bit of that just around the edges of these connectors here. But the inside of this one's very clean looking, so it's probably a good seal as is. But and then we'll put this in, and then we'll do the other one. Alright, so this one's done. Now we go to the driver's side. I'm gonna go with that. Well, honestly, I'm a little scared to turn this thing on, because like if this doesn't work and these don't give me what I want to see, then that means I did all this for nothing. Because if this doesn't give me the reading I need, then that means that these things weren't the issue and they didn't need to be changed, and I just spent $250 for nothing. Plus I'm back to square one, because then that means I still have another problem somewhere else. So I really don't want to deal with that. So I feel kind of apprehensive, but I have to do this. So let's see what it says here. Sounds weird with that doghouse off. Let me make sure this is connected. Just well, it takes a minute, so let's give it a minute and we'll check back here in a second. Okay, so I'm still getting no data from the upstream sensors. So this would be bank 1, and this would be bank 2. So bank 1, sensor 1, bank 2, sensor 2. So these two are upstream. So it would be passenger, driver. And then these are the downstream, bank 1, sensor 2, bank 2, sensor 2. But these are reading differently now. So before, these were bouncing around between like 0.1 and 0.9, and now they're reading differently. So something has changed, but these two should be giving me something. So I'm gonna have to look into that and see what's going on here. Okay, so after some deeper research, I learned that those Bosch sensors can be an issue, even though they're OEM and all that, OEM spec and all that good stuff. So I was not getting these two upstream sensors to come online, and so I just went ahead and returned those. I took them out. I got the original ones back in here, and I went ahead and got the Motorcraft, which would be the official Ford version. So we'll see if that works. So now I got to do this job all over again. Start here on the passenger side. The only thing I needed to really do this, I figured out, was just a screwdriver to help with prying off the connector and maybe prying the thing apart, and a big ass long 22 millimeter wrench. So this thing is I don't know, a foot and a half long, and this allowed me to get the leverage. I didn't need that special wrench that I borrowed or rented. This thing was all I needed. So I can fit it on there. It's a little bit of an angle because of this thing here, which is probably pretty hot right now, so I don't want to touch it. But it's enough to turn it. And so I'm going left, so all I did is I just put my hand on here, brace my elbow against my knee, and that gave me the leverage that I needed to. Oh, that's fantastic. So, but that was I was able to break that thing loose that way. On the other one, on the initial, I had to go underneath to get the leverage because I was going the other way and there's not enough room. But when I swapped out the Bosch for the original, just to drive back to the auto parts store, I was able to get it broken from the top because it wasn't on there super tight. But that's all I needed. So once you get the doghouse off, then it's super fast. So let me go crawl under the van, fish that light out, and then I'm gonna throw the Motorcrafts in here and see if that works. And if it doesn't, and if I still get these fault, like if I don't get a reading on those two upstream sensors, and if I continue to get the fault codes that I was getting, which was oh, it's not connected right now. It was like the P0130 and P0150, and those are both related to these O2 sensors. And apparently there's a PCM flash that Ford can do, and that could potentially be the cause of this as well. But I don't think that these have been changed in the life of this van. So for 173,000 miles, even if these are still good, I think they're worth replacing anyways. So if these don't start to make these dials move, then the next thing that I would try would be to go to either a Ford dealer or maybe a local shop that has the tool to do that. Try to reflash the PCM and then see if that works. Okay, so these connectors have been kind of a pain in the ass, but I found the easiest way for me to get them undone was to, let me adjust this, was to grab the top of the wire in between my thumb and my first finger, and then to press the tab with that finger. And that way I can get a hold of it, this bottom clip. I can get a good grip on it with my other hand, and so that actually worked for me. Yeah, otherwise I was struggling to figure out how to grip this thing properly, because if I grip it any other way, I can't get a good enough hold on this thing to pull it apart. But this allowed me to do it easily, and just pressing in on this tab is actually what does it. It lifts up the back end, and there's a little hook right here. So you press this down, the teeter-totter thing makes the back end go up, and it clears this latch, and then with some little bit of effort it slides off. Okay, so the O2 sensor swap to Motorcraft did not make those sensors come online, and then it started running worse, and it gave me a code, I think it was 0303. So that's a misfire in cylinder 3, which means the next likely issue is spark plugs and possibly coils need to be changed. So that was something on my list to do. I was hoping I could put it off for 6 months, but looks like I have to do it now because it's running pretty bad. So I've not done this before on this type of vehicle. I've changed a spark plug. It's not a big deal, but I think that by this year, the issue of the spark plugs breaking was not so much an issue anymore. So not that it couldn't happen, but it should be less likely. So I'm going to try to, I just don't know how much of the stuff I have to take apart to get in there. Like, obviously I just took the air filter housing and all that kind of stuff off. But like, once you get in there, you know, especially from the back side, to get access to these plugs, you may have to start unbolting quite a bit of other stuff and kind of pushing it out of the way. And my problem with that is that I kind of forget what I did, you know, so that's the thing that concerns me. But I'm going to do them just one at a time, and just to make sure, and see how it goes. So